Hello, tribers. Welcome to the podcast where we magnify the process and impact of the youth in the world using their own stories. I am the homegirl, also known as Liz Awino, and thank you for joining me, or rather us, for another episode. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you found us, however it is you found us. If you're a returning tribe member, what's up? How are you doing? Today's episode is a guest episode, and I'm so excited to have Joy Murage, popularly known as Dr. Murage, with us. She is going to deep dive into the simple but complicated topic on growth and productivity, reflecting on 2025 and sharing strategies to make 2026 even better. Joy, how are you doing? Or rather, Dr. Murage, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on the podcast. I'm
Thanks
very
for
honored to be
coming.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I had to make time for this, but
I appreciate that. I appreciate
yeah,
that. I always say podcasting is not like, yes, people want to do podcasts, like they want to be in podcasts as guests, but then
yeah,
you'd be shocked how many people actually say no to being on a podcast. Like, so
really.
yeah, yeah. I've asked a couple of people that were just like, nah, I don't think I'm in the right place or the right time, or I don't think that's something I'd want to do. So I don't take it for granted that people choose to share the stories, you know. Yeah, because it's not banter that we're doing. So I love that you're here because I'm also ready to listen from a doctor and hear what they have to say. How
We'll
does it
be a
feel?
doctor.
Yeah?
I'm not technically a doctor yet. I'm a medical student,
Yeah.
but eventually I thought I might settling into the name as early as possible, uh, get to the realization that this is going to be a reality for me in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
So meet people, get acquainted with the name, and then once I'm finally there, it's going to be like much, much easier to settle in.
Fair. So you're getting ready for a future that you know is almost certain that it's coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Pretty cool. Um, we're gonna move into the first section, which is the book tribe, and you will tell us what book you've been reading and what is something that strikes your interest from the book you're reading. That is, if you have been reading a book.
All right. So the book that I've been reading, well, seemingly for a very long time. The name of the book is How to Go From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes so much sense because I'm at a place in my life where I'm really trying to become a better person, not just in how, I'd say it and you're like, oh, everyone wants to be a better person. But what I mean is actually transitioning fully to it. And I feel like the book really gives practical tips on how to do it. There's nothing rocket science about it. It's very simple, very straight to the point, and it's things you can apply in everyday life. And I've actually used some of these tips and they've actually worked for me. There are 25 principles in the book. I'm currently in the 15th principle, but
Mm-hmm.
so far it's such a good read. Personally, I would recommend it. I always recommend it to people I interact with because I feel like that's a book that can help everyone actually.
What is something that you took from the book that you literally practice it every day because you read it from that particular book?
I would go with just do it. Yeah, just do it. The fear is but momentarily. It's just there for a second. But once you're on the other side, you will come to realize that the fear you had all along was just your mind making up all the things that could go wrong. How he likes to put it is write down everything that you're scared of doing and then rephrase it. So I am scared of doing this because I have this fear that maybe this aspect of it will go wrong. You know, I'm scared of joining or rather applying for med school because I have this fear that I will be rejected. And then once you sit with the whole logistics of it and understanding this fear, where it's coming from and what's holding you back, it's much more easier now to move towards. the action that is needed. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my favorite takeaway because that's what I've been doing. And I can say there's some aspects of my life that have really improved because I sit down with this fear that I'm currently feeling and I trace it back to where is this fear coming from? Is it my fear of people seeing me trying? Is it my fear of failing, getting rejected? What exactly is holding me back? And then from there, I actually look at what I'm aiming at, look at the risk, assess it, and then just go for it.
I think now that we're here, we can talk about my fear, maybe, and then you can help me rephrase it in real
Oh,
time
mm-hmm.
so that maybe the listeners can see how this works. I,
All right.
I I did an episode where I said my fear is not, I don't necessarily have a fear of failure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody has a fear of failure, but I don't have it the way other people have it. My biggest fear that I feel I have, the way everyone would be like, a lot of people like feel bad when they fail. That's how I feel about success.
Mm.
So my fear is the fear of success. So how would we go about it in real time?
That is actually quite rare.
I know
Very few
an
people have.
acquired, it's a very acquired fear.
Okay. So my first question to you would be, why are you so scared about success? If you picture yourself being successful in your mind, what comes when you think of what's the worst that can happen when I'm successful? Because usually a fear is tied to the worst scenarios. So when you have that money, when you have the assets, when you have the things that basically you are really working towards, what is that fear about them that's making you so scared of success? Is it the detachment from the community that you have right now? Because you will outgrow people in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So is it that you have this sentimentality and you really hold on to things, hold on to people, and the process includes letting go? Is it that? So I think it boils down to which scenarios are you playing out when you picture yourself in the state of success? Because that's what's fueling your fear. So maybe you can think of it real quick, even if it's just one, and then see why. Or another thing is, do you feel like you will become successful
Mm-hmm.
and then it's temporary and then you'll go back to square one?
That's a poverty mindset. This is a good one. Let me Kanye this situation. Okay, I'm gonna sit and think about it. I think my biggest fear, right,
Mm-hmm.
is not even that the money will come and then it will finish, right? Because I think one of the things
Yeah.
I try to do is I live like a wholesome life, right? Where money is not such a big, like it's a big deal, but it doesn't mean like so much to me like that for me to feel like that. Not to say I
It
don't have
doesn't
a,
define you.
yeah, it doesn't define me. And I think people can tell by the decisions I have with my career.
Mm-hmm.
What I fear is I fear that I will not be the person that I am. Let me
Um,
explain.
all right.
I always say a huge part of things that motivates me are still the same things that cause me so much pain. And when I'm
Mm.
successful, it will mean that I have access to not fix, but become a better person. So who am I if people see me? And who am I if I'm not the version, if I'm not Liz trying to prove to maybe class 8 or class 7 Liz that I'm
Yeah,
smart? Does that make sense?
it
Like I said,
does.
I'm not fearful of failure because I used to be a failure. So I'm okay with
Mm.
that. Even if someone says you're a failure, I'm not too buzzed about it. I won't fight you. I just be like, yeah, cool. Like you could be right, actually. Like don't stress yourself about it. You're probably right. I'm not going to argue with it because I think to a certain extent, maybe that's something I carry around that I'm unaware of, that I do believe that I am a failure in a certain extent.
Mhm.
So it doesn't necessarily define me per se, but success, I'm scared of things actually working out because I know they will work out if I put in the effort.
Yeah. Now I feel like the interviewer here. But from what I'm picking up is from what you said,
Mm-hmm.
you are okay with someone seeing you from the lens of you've been a failure before. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily make you a failure now. But do you think that your fear of success is because you've settled in so well with the idea that you've been a failure before? So it's like you're sitting in this a box, like you're in this shell of I've been a failure before, it doesn't really scare me like that. But what if I actually get out of this box and there's
Mm.
more to this ticket? There's more to what I settled for. Because these things actually live in your subconscious. It's just that you don't think about them every day intentionally. But when you actually sit with the thought and you ask yourself, oh my God, what is going on here? That's when
Yeah.
you actually realize some things that we've normalized are actually very alien, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I've heard from you, I feel like it's because what I picked up, I feel like it's because you've settled into I have failed before. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I can fail past this. Like I've failed so many times. Like please, the subscription is done. So what is there more to feeling? That's what you're scared of. Like you're actually scared of getting out there and actually fly because that's not something you're used to. It's a very new space for you, a new territory for you. And you're scared that it will feel off. It will feel like you're going to have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. That's what I'm getting from this.
My comfort zone being failure is wild. I just have to put it out like that.
This is actually the wildest thing I've had since the year began. I won't lie to you. Ah, whoa.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will probably feel the same that you feel right now. They'll probably be very puzzled that they someone that's afraid of success. But yeah, like I don't know. I think
It's
that's
not
why,
living. Am I the weird one? Like, are we breathing the same air?
like, maybe I have another set of air that I breathe that people are unaware of. Like, I must be high on something because ain't no way. Ah, that's wild. Like, when you say it out loud that, oh, my comfort zone is failure, that's wild. Like, I think if I say that in a huge, like a room full of people, they'll all turn around and look at me. Very funny, actually.
What would what has Shorty gone through to be?
Like, they'll
What?
be like, say that again. I think someone would even be like, girl, you mean success. And I'm like, no, actually, I mean, I'm comfortable with failure.
No, but I feel like that's actually such a nice trait to have because now I'm starting to understand it. Be- Even if you look at the influential people and the people who've made it really big, especially with their startups, we're talking about Jeff Bezos and likes of Zuck.
Mhm.
These people have been so comfortable with failure to the point now it's okay, if I fail, what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't really sting. That's why you see these people can take risks without like second guessing them. It doesn't have to take me a week to think about, oh my God, I'm scared. I'm so scared of doing this. Why? We're
Yeah.
so used to it. But the people who are so new to that space or they've never failed before, the first time they fail, it feels like the world is ending. It feels
Mhm.
like, my life is over. I'm not doing this anymore. But there's something about that mentality that you have that allows you to take risks better than most people. And usually, people who tend to take more risks tend to have a higher probability of actually making it in life because you're trying things from a space of you're not entitled, you're not sentimental, you're just like, I'm going to do my best in this, I'm going to give it my shot. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. We'll move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, you're not even wasting time at the I failed in this. Now you have time to recollect. I don't know, do what. You literally just move on to the next thing, like the last thing didn't happen. And like, if there's anything people should pick from, like here, it's that mentality. It depends with also how you perceive it. Some people will think it's a bad thing, but other people will take it as an opportunity to actually grow into a new space that they've never been before.
I like that my comfort of failure has come out in a positive light. This is so funny. I really have to I'll have to sit down and think about this conversation tomorrow morning while I have my coffee because this is wild. It's so wild. Like I wrote an article. Like tomorrow it will be out. I wrote an article. I've done an episode that comes out tomorrow as well about the fear of failure. And
Yeah.
now, while you speak about this, I think I have maybe a different. I think that's what you were talking about, reframing. I think I
Yeah.
have a different reframing of it, of what it means to have the fear of success. Hmm.
But I
Anyway,
don't think you're the only one. You're not the only one.
there's definitely people. I just think they're probably not going to be as loud as I am. Or maybe they've not identified that they're fearful of success. And I think I say it in the way that you can tell if a person is cutting off their own wings.
Mm,
And one of the things I thought about last year, like a huge part of last year, and that's why I'm so committed to doing the podcast this year, trying as much as I can to be aligned in the podcast and the It Tribe, is because I realized that as much as, yes, people will give me scissors to cut my own wings, I can still make a decision not to cut them. But most of the time, people
mm,
give me the scissors to cut them, and I'm like, yeah, bet, cut all of them. And then I realized, actually, no, just because they give me the
sure.
scissors, that doesn't mean, yeah, it doesn't mean I have to cut myself. I could literally just say, I don't want the scissors. And I move on. And I think I don't know, it's quite freeing sometimes, but also quite scary because, like I said, I'm comfortable with failure. So even if I end up not making anything, I'll just be like, you validated the fact that, I failed before. Ah, wow, crazy times, guys. Anyway, that was a cute one. That was a cute one. Let's get into the topic now. Growth and productivity in 2025. I think I want to start this with a disclaimer and say, guys, anything that we say here is based off of our POV. If you're listening, I need you to take it with a pinch of salt and take the principles and not the story. Because everyone has their own story, everyone has their own narrative, everyone has their own journey. There's no right or wrong way of living. And I even need to stop giving this disclaimer because I always say the HIV is primarily not to fix your problems, it's for you to pick up something that can make your life better. I will stop saying that from next week, actually. You're going on. If you ever
Oh,
come
go
for me,
on.
yeah, like if you ever come for me, I'll just tell you, go and listen to the first episode. You'll know that I'm not here to spoon feed you. But yeah, let me be nice because I need them to listen to me so I can make money. Okay, segment one is reflection on 2025. Looking back, what was the most defining moment for your personal growth last year?
So I would say my most defining moment for my personal growth last year was around the entering the last part of the year. So, like I said before, I'm a medical student, and in every institution, we have exams that determine whether you proceed to the next year or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I really had hopes for this exam because I had actually been reading. I had actually got out of my comfort zone and I was reading. But when the results came back, I had failed some of the units, not all of them, but a significant amount of units.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant me not proceeding. So I think when I started it, the funny thing is that it wasn't my first time failing a major exam because I have failed a previous one. That one really broke me. But this one was a bit different because this wasn't the first time. So you see, there's a bit of a soft landing.
Mm-hmm.
But it really shook me because I was like, I have been reading, I have been really trying. what could what could have possibly gone wrong
Mm-hmm.
that made me to fail this exam? So I think I really sat with it and I looked back at since I joined uni up until this point, what have I been doing with my life? Like, what if Jesus, personally, I am a state Christian, like very, I live out my faith. But I asked myself, if Jesus were to come here and lay out my life like B-roll, like a movie, what would I explain that I
Go.
was doing? What would I tell him? Like I did this, this happened because I did this. And then he'd give me a solution that I actually came about at some point. So I really had to sit with myself and I I asked myself, the people who are casting, what are they doing that I'm not doing?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it were failing, we could have all failed, right? But there's some people who actually pass. So what differentiates me from them? And I really sat with it and I looked back and saw that I am just lazy. Okay, there's no other reason. The point is, Murage, you are lazy
Mm-hmm.
because you are smart. You can be hardworking if you want to. You know, you have the skill set, you have the resources. You can't say that it's because it's out of luck. You have everything that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Parents do their best to provide what they can for you. Your friends, they're supportive. You know, I have a community. So what exactly is your problem? And I think from there, I just sat and I said, my life from this last quarter of the year, which was around September, my life will never be the same again. If
Period.
it means if it means pushing myself every single day, then that's what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be listening to my emotions anymore. I'm not going to be listening to, the fields of the emotion at the moment. No. We're going to have a routine, we're going to have a plan, we're going to have a schedule, and we're going to stick by it. That's how my routine actually started. I had never had a routine before. I was going with the emotions of it. Like, oh, I feel like studying today. Let's do it. Today I don't really feel like it. Then that's not happening. So I'd say that was the defining moment for me, to be honest.
Follow-up question from what she said
Yeah,
is
sure.
you've obviously mentioned the fact that like you used to study when you want to study and not when you're supposed to be studying. And you had to
Yeah.
look outside and find out what other people are doing. So the question I'd ask is, do you think there was like external pressures in terms of like maybe the people that are around you or like just being in university? Because I had a ball in
Mm-hmm.
university. So do you think there was like these like external pressures to be a certain way or act a certain way that now directly impacted how your life looks like?
For me, okay, let me start by saying there are external pressures. But for me, I wouldn't say I've been the type to be swayed by external pressures. I feel like I've always had a footing for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've always known what I wanted. I've always gone for it. If I say I'm not doing something, you're not going to come with your theory and try to convince me otherwise. Like once my mind is made up, that's it. There's no changing. So I'd say for someone who's listening to this and you are maybe going like joining uni or you're in uni, there are external pressures, be it work, social, global events. Like there's so much going on in uni, to be honest. Like there's a lot. But for me, they never really, in terms of social specifically, that never really influenced my motivation. Because to be honest, I'd see people reading and it never really bothered me. I don't know why I always assumed like, I was high school smart. I've always been smart. So it doesn't really affect me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the day I failed is when I realized. Save that story for another day. These people know what they're doing when they're reading. Because I was like, this smartness is not helping here. You actually have to put in the work.
Fact.
So it's a shock. It's a shock. So I'm naturally smart, but in med school there's nothing like naturally smart. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work.
I want us to talk about what your experience felt like when you joined uni. How did it feel like when you joined uni and then you realized that just because I was smart in in high school, it's not like bonga points or like bonus points or credit points that are shifted now. That now you're like, okay, I have more credit points because I'm smart. It's like everybody goes back to the same drawing board and you start from scratch. How did you transition into that?
For my first year in uni, I did not transition well. The main reason I even failed my first major exam was because I had a hard time settling my brain that, oh, now this is a different system than the one we had in high school. And then I also think I was so used to having, in high school, it's like a community. The teachers are so caring, they're all up in your business. And so you feel that motivation to keep
Mm-hmm.
going. But in uni, you're by yourself. No one cares. You want to fail, go and fail. You want to pass, okay, bet. So I think I didn't realize that. And I was also coming from a place where I was such a high performer, performing. So I'm like, I need a break, guys. Honey, you want me to perform every day? I So now in uni, I think having that mentality for I need to rest and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I took it a bit overboard. And I hate to admit this, but I was naive. That's the last thing I ever want to come out of my mouth. But I was naive. I
Mm.
wanted that quote unquote freedom. I wanted to explore the world, explore what's going on, like go out to restaurants, do stuff. When I'm supposed to be studying, that's now when I have the motivation, to go and explore my beautiful country. I want to do this, I want to do that.
Girl, you're so
So,
serious. Ah.
and so that naivety mixed up with this mentality of I need to rest. I've been performing for such a long time. And then also with a mentality of I'm already smart. Like there's nothing to prove here. Hey,
Exactly. Period,
check my
girl.
check my KCSE transcript. Bro, it'll speak for itself. So I think those three things mixed up, they really set me up for failure. To be
This
honest,
thing is ending me.
they set me up for
Ah.
failure. I was framed, but that's how I ended up now failing. I saw the signs. Let me tell you, I saw the signs. So we
Mm-hmm.
have cuts, and then we have our main exam. If
Mm-hmm.
my parents listen to this, oh God, have mercy. But we have cuts, and then we have our main exam.
Mm-hmm.
And so my first ever cut came back, and I had failed it, and I was so distraught. And I remember going to my friend. He was like 1 year ahead of me, and
Mm-hmm.
I went to him and told him, "Oh my God, I failed my cut. I'm never going to be a doctor. Like this is the end of it." And then he was just like, "Relax, this is a card. It's telling you how you're progressing. You can work towards your next card, build up, and then you'll be okay." Because for us, our cards are actually included in our end of year. So our end of year covers 70%, but our cards, two of them cover 30%.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do really well in cards, even if you're a bit off in the end of year, your cards can boost your grades.
Facts.
But still, for me, I failed my first card. And then, I had a moment. I was so touched, so moved. I started studying a bit. It didn't last long. Back to square one. Second cut, failed again. Back to the same cycle. Tried. I was over it. Back again. Now, when end of year reached, hey, I was 6 stars. Like, the pressure was so real because now you have to cover a lot of content in a short time. And if you don't know, you don't know. In my school, if you don't know, you don't know.
I'm not supposed
I
to be
remember,
laughing. Yo. Hey.
I just remember sitting for that exam, and
Cloud.
that was something I was seeing for the first time. I could not believe my eyes. You know that guy who thinks I cannot believe my eyes, but and that's how I knew. Imagine, let me tell you, before the results were even out, I already knew this one I cannot make.
Nimbaya.
I cannot.
Nimbaya.
Nimbaya. Manze, I started grieving even before the results came out.
You're
Grieving.
grieving or writing your name on the paper. Hello, guys. My name is
Wow.
Joy Murage.
It's about five. So that's how I knew. And then even when the results came back, I already knew. I was actually scared to go and get my results because
Mm-hmm.
I knew deep down that I hadn't done well. And I was scared because my parents were really putting in effort to make sure I'm okay, make sure I'm comfortable, pay my fees and everything. And then I'm not doing my part. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to break their heart. And I feel like the only reason it actually broke me the way it did is because of them. I really looked at them and I saw the burden they're carrying, and it really affected me.
Mm-hmm.
And from that time, I said, we cannot live like this. I have to really, really work hard from here. But that's how my first uni experience was. So don't be like me, guys. When you go to school, remember why you're going there in the first place. There's time for everything actually. You'll have time to go out, you'll have time to study, there'll be time for everything as long as you plan yourself well. But don't overbalance, don't overdo one area and then forget another area. But yo, that was pretty much my first year.
Which year are you in now?
That's another story, but I'm in second year now.
Well, how is that another story?
So you see, I'm supposed to be in fourth year, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm in second year. So I had the first year, the first ever year, and then I had my second first year. So I retook. So I did another first year.
Yes.
So you see, those are 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I proceeded now to second year. Comes to second year, kuna makosa ilifanyika mohai, I had to take some units. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm in second year. So it's like I've done two first years and two second years.
I always tell people I always tell people that matters of school and education are so hard. And also when you started giving advice and saying that, oh, like when you go to school, just be focused, just balance it well. You can't actually balance it well. And let me tell you why. Obviously,
Mhm.
I'm done in school and it's been like 2 years, almost 3 years now. Oh, Jesus Christ. But every time you move from one stage of life and one way of living to another way of living, you always need to anticipate chaos. I don't want to say disaster because not everyone goes through disaster, but chaos is literally part of the recipe. You will be confused. You will not know what you're doing. You will want to literally quit everything and go back to, like, you just want to quit. Like the way you went to that guy and you're like, oh, I failed. This is the end of being a doctor. You will crash out. And I think
Yeah.
because a lot more people are not honest about it, where they try and put like the cherry on top and say that, oh no, you should just be serious, you should be like this. I think a lot more people should be honest and just say that you go there, you will be confused, and that's part of the process. Deal with it. Because
Mhm.
I can't imagine, or I can because I have gone through it, but imagine you're in a new way of living. Your parents are not around to tell you do A, B, C, D. Your teachers don't give a damn. And mind you, in high school, at least they care a little bit. If you're in Cambridge, they care a little bit enough for them to push you and say, just study, just do this, do that. Sorry. But then in 844 system, it's more so you have to do it. And that's where now the overachievers and high performance comes in because of the 844. 844 system is a breeding point for human beings that are overachievers for no good reason. And I always say, I may have gotten a C in business in Cambridge, but you that got an A in 844 system, if we both write a paper in Cambridge system, you will actually fail. Not because you're dumb, but because you have been trained to consume information to write a paper, not to understand the information. And that's why I say it's high overachievers, because at the end of the day, you don't use the information. It's just write the paper, move on. And then you come to a system where lecturers don't give a damn. Matter of fact, you cannot even find them if you want to find them sometimes. You can choose
Yeah.
to go to class or not go to class. Your friends could literally say, let's go out like 5 days or 6 times in a week. And what are you going to do?
Mm.
You're going to go because life is for the living. To be quite fair, I went out. I went out a lot in my first year. Even that you're saying, oh, you're saved and stuff. Oh, bless your heart, shame.
Ah,
I went out. Like the oblate that I oblayed in university until I chilled and I calmed down in like second year. Like not
yeah.
even second year, like the beginning, second year, the end, close to my third year, everybody was shocked. The fact that I'm not even happy about, like, I'm not so vexed about going out now. People are always like, the person you were.
Where is she?
Oh, on the dance
Christina.
floor. Where is Latroy? Do on the dance floor. That was me. But yeah, I think it's just a little bit of failure is quite important. I'm not gonna lie, and
It is.
it's always like you need to anticipate it. That's why I say it. Everybody must say you will get to uni, and you will fail somewhere. Just know, like go prepared that you're going to fail. It makes your job easier when you fail. Now you're not shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we
I think
started. Uh huh.
that's actually something I wasn't prepared for. Because you see, I entered uni with the mindset that I'm really smart. Like, what could possibly go wrong? That's the So when I failed, there was no soft landing for me because it wasn't an expectation that I had for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But like you've said, when you go to uni with that kind of expectation of I might fail, it's it prepares you. It helps you even plan better, like for that not to happen. And if it does happen, you pick yourself up so gracefully compared to someone who wasn't expecting it.
You see,
Yeah.
it becomes easier, like a lot easier for you to handle the disappointment. We're gonna jump into the next segment, which is life lessons and productivity habits. And 2025 was not an easy year per se. So, in the midst of life not being an easy thing, what are some of the experiences that you had to overcome and be resilient and just, keep it moving? And how did you manage to be resilient while there's so many things that are happening that just don't favor you? Like, let's say, for example, in Kenya, being a medical student means that, or being a person that now actually graduates, you have to be assigned into an internship. And over the last couple of years, there's been like a lot of complaints. Actually, I went so far. You guys were out of school for a huge part of last year.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Like,
Even December.
so like how did you go about that? What was on your mind? What did that mean for you? How did you consider being a doctor at that particular point and stuff? And it's not even doctors alone, but just in general.
So first off, my school is kind of okay. Let me not say a bad word for my school. Hey, but to be honest, it's somewhat the ghetto because of the back and forth of the lecturers. But let me start with the strike. We had a strike. Uh, I believe early on in the year, and we also had another one towards the end of the year. That one was actually the worst because we were supposed to go back to school, and then immediately we went back to school, they declared the strike, and people actually had to go back home, which is another inconvenience. But for me, I think I'm generally a very optimistic person. So I took it as a chance rather to like get back and plan out myself. And for the things that I hadn't read well, to just go back and give them some more time before we start on the new topics. So I wouldn't say it affected me as badly as it should have. And then also at the end of the day, I usually say there's someone who's 40, there's someone who's 60 who has started med school. like at that point of their lives. I'm still young. There's so much life ahead of me, to be honest. So the worst that can happen is delay by an year. You get.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really something that and above all, it's something that's beyond my control. Because
Mm-hmm.
now I'm in too deep in the school. I can't really transfer. I can't transfer, but assume I go and study abroad, I have to start afresh, which is other years on top of my years. If I transfer to another school, the same thing, I'll have to start afresh. So there's no really easy way out in quotes. So for me, that time was a time of just going back to the drawing board and using that time that was there as an opportunity to actually do the things that maybe I had been quote unquote postponing or pending. It worked out good.
Mm-hmm.
I promised myself I'll study during the holiday, but that's a very universal lie for most of us. But that was the first one. And the second one, and I think this is the most major one, was me failing. I think if you actually check out my socials or anything else, or if you ask anyone, like if the first thing that comes to mind when they hear Dr. Murage, it will either be resilience or my med school story. And I feel like my med school story is something that not most people can handle. If you put someone in my shoes, most people would have already dropped out of med school.
Mm-hmm.
Because what do you mean you're repeating another year? Someone who started out with me, uni, is in fourth year, and I'm in second year.
Mm-hmm.
To someone else, that's a lot of pressure. But I think for me, it was an opportunity to. I cried severally, which is okay, but I feel like it really developed my character into what any pass on an exam could have ever done for me. I grew resilient to the point where some things don't phase me. When people are crashing out over the most minor things, I'm so
Mm-hmm.
chill about it because I'm like, if only you knew. So I think it put me in a position where I had to constantly push myself. I had to keep going regardless of the results I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
I had to finish crying, dust off, not dust off, but say like wipe off the tears and then start again. Like start as many times as you need to. And the verse that kept coming to mind was a righteous man falls 7 times but gets up, while a wicked man falls just once. Can you imagine how beautiful it is to fall and get back up, to fall and get back up, compared to someone who is just falling once and they never get the chance to get back up again?
Mm-hmm.
It really shifted my mind when I came across that verse and that understanding of it. Like, wow, I get the chance to get up again and try again and keep going. So this is not the end of life. And when that realization kicked in, to be honest, I just kept going. I can't say there was anything else to it, but I just kept going. So I would say those two were probably what really shaped my year, especially towards the end, and also how I started viewing things differently coming from 2025 to 2026.
I don't know if I could fail that many times and keep on going. Like, because I need us to think of it practically, right?
Mm,
Because it's not like, for business, you can go and open the shop today, open it tomorrow, open, like you can open the shop, but you can't control who buys and who doesn't buy. So if your
yeah.
business does not work out, you can actually genuinely say that people don't buy from you. But something like education, it means that yes, you have to put in the effort to study and all of that stuff, fair and fine. But at the same time, you can't blame anyone.
Mm.
And the fact that you were able to stomach and look at yourself and say, I led myself here, that is so
Ew.
outstanding.
It was such a painful pill to swallow, but I had to.
I mean, I will quit. I am so sorry. Hey, hey, hey. I'll just say every other year, doctors are graduating in this country and in the world. If they have one less doctor, nothing will spoil. All the doctors will go to work, the patients will find doctors. Like, please, why must I kill myself? Ah. That's what I'm saying. It's
Those
quite,
thoughts actually came to mind.
yeah. I want us to talk about
Mm.
like the mental health impact of going through such an experience because, like I said, it literally draws back to you, right? And
Yeah.
now you can't say, oh, my parents didn't do this and my friends didn't do
Mm.
this and no one supported me and my teachers. No. At the end of the day, when you sit with yourself, you are the one that has to face yourself. And how did that
Mm.
mental battle look like in real time and in hindsight?
It was hard at the beginning. I won't lie. I used to cry so much because I didn't understand how and this was why and why this was happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did, and then it hits me, and then I just start crying because I'm like,
Shame,
oh my god, I'm like, guys, please believe me, I'm smart, I'm smart.
shame.
Let me prove it, but I have nothing to show.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So it was like this tension of I know this is not who I am, but at the moment this is what is being seen. So how do I go from proving that this is not me? Good. In the beginning, it was very, very hard, especially because I was not willing to tell anyone. Even my parents, it really took a lot for me to take the letter and take it to them. I remember actually that day I went for my first ever letter because usually they release a pass list. So if you're not on the pass list, you go for a letter to the faculty in the faculty. And I remember going for my letter and I already knew my fate, but I didn't want to accept it just yet.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe God, oh, you're looking at me with your eyes of love,
Do something for me.
like you're going to do something. So when the pass list came out and I was not on it, which was quite ambitious of me to think that I would be on the pass list. So when I wasn't there, and then I had to go for the results. So I was like, maybe I've just failed one unit. Maybe I just have a supplementary. Eh, I had a retake in every unit. I remember my mom even asking me, surely, Joy, you even have a retake in behavioral science, just looking at people and seeing how they behave. And that hit me so much because I'm like, it's real. Like that's the easiest unit, and I also failed that. So it was hard because I didn't want to accept it
Mm-hmm.
that these were my results because I've been performing all along. So what do you mean I failed? And then two, it was hard because of my parents, seeing them in that state, especially my dad. My mom is a very vocal person, but my dad is more quiet guy. And so I knew he didn't want to show that. He was disappointed in it because he knew I can do better than this.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really hit me. I even remember picking that letter, going back home, and I literally, that was the first ever time I cried like that in front of my parents. I don't even think I've ever fallen into the arms of my dad like that. I just looked at him and I started crying
Shame.
because I knew and he knew also, but he also didn't want to accept it. And then it felt like the life I had built was a lie. So you can see how failing is really psychological. It does it does a lot. So I remember that period I stopped eating well. It's like I went into like a mini depression.
Mm-hmm.
and I stopped eating well because I was stressed about it. I was thinking, maybe what if these are not, I was in denial. What if there's something that can be done? Like, what can I do? Like, there was so many questions in my mind. I was in denial. So I stopped eating well. I did not open my curtains. My room used to be as dark as can be. My mom is on would open the door, like draw the curtains open, and she'd start telling me, get out of bed, like go and do something, because that's how bad it was.
Mm-hmm.
But then I sat with myself and I asked myself, okay, what am I gaining by sitting here and thinking about something that is not even in my control? Something that I do not have the capacity to rewind time and fix. Like, am I willing to put my future on the line just because of a moment in time that probably if history is laid out, it will just be like
It's a
a
bump.
dot that you might not even see. Yeah. So I asked myself, like, is this really the life that I want to live? A gorgeous girl like me, looking like I was collected in some sewer somewhere. Like no.
Why would you say that?
And I think from because that's how okay, how I'd say it is, um, I think presentation is key.
Mm-hmm.
The way you present yourself. Personally, I think I've really built a reputation for myself in terms of if someone sees me, they think I'm very presentable. They think I'm very confident. And so in that moment, I was not looking like what I had worked hard for people to perceive me as.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I'm telling someone, it's like a double standard. I'm telling you, this is who I am, but I'm not even staying true to what I told you I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it felt like. And so I was like, I cannot be giving people this picture, giving myself this picture, and I'm not even living by it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I just started encouraging myself. It wasn't easy. It was I was just forcing issues. I'd say for my case, I was forcing issues.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started encouraging myself. I started telling myself every day that the future ahead of you will be so much better compared to this moment in time, moment of agony that you're feeling. You just have to find a way out of this shell. Just You just have to find a way out of this. Once you're out of this dark tunnel and there's a glimpse of light, cling on to it and move with it for as long as possible. And to be honest, I can't really say how I got out of that community depression,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that mentality and forcing it on myself every day. And I think also my faith has really played a great role that helped me into now steering my focus into the new chance that I had. Because for me, it was like, wow, my parents have agreed to pay for me school fees again the same year. Oh, my days, I have to make them proud. So I think that was also my motivation to get out of my cocoon
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, they believe in me this much. How about I start believing in myself? If people can believe in me this much, what are they seeing that I'm not possibly seeing? And that's how it started, like getting out of that mental space and allowing myself to actually thrive into something different. I feel like humans, we tend to have this um, attitude of having self pity parties. We are loyal to our problems, let me say. You're very loyal to your problems.
I like how you're
That's
so
why
bland. Ah, this is so nice. At least I'm not the blunt one in the episode.
I feel like that's why some people, when they come and ask for advice and you're like, you tell them, just block him or block her. They're like, I don't really know about that. Do you want the help or not? Those are people who are very loyal to their issues. They don't want the help. They just want the sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be loyal to my issue. because it was just a bad day. It didn't mean a bad season for me.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I put all the good days ahead of me on the line just because I want to keep sympathizing with myself? Because crying is fun, people feeling like sad for me is fun. Because the attention is nice, but how long are you going to get it? When it runs out, what are you going to do now that you're alone?
Mm-hmm.
Who will help you? So those are things you have to ask yourself. And once it dawns on you the reality of things, you just have to pick yourself up and start moving.
And your failure is nice. Not even you make wise. You're wise. You're so wise. Small heartbreak, and you are wise now. Hey, what happened to going to restaurants in Nairobi? Hey,
We still do that, but you
balance.
can you can you can be a multi-potential life. Not more than you can chew. I don't even know if it goes like that, but
You're putting all the eggs in one basket, ne?
I am taking what belongs to Caesar. I am all that glitters is going for me. Hey, those things, everything. I'm packing as I dey go.
But yeah, I think you see the thing is this is a very interesting episode. You may check us out lie. I have laughed. Okay, to our listeners, what is the biggest challenge you faced in 2025 and how did you navigate it? Because I think, like you said, there's loyalty to problems. I am such a solution oriented person. Like, this
Mm,
is happening. Okay, cool. I hear you, but okay, what do you want to do about it? I quickly know how to distinguish between issues that I can fix and
yeah.
issues that I cannot fix. And I spend more time with issues I can fix than issues I cannot fix. So I think there's just ways that people enjoy a cute little pity party way more than they'd like to admit. And I like to stay very far away from people like those ones because I get pissed off and irritated easily.
You and I both.
Girl, I don't tell people to do something twice. Oh, even forget first time you'll come, you'll rant, I listen to you quietly. I'll be like, oh yeah, girl, I hear you. Like, wow, you're really going through it. And then you come back. Oh, second time, I'll be like, maybe you're trying to still process it. And I think it depends on the context because if someone fails in their education and stuff, in a situation where, because I'm very quick to clock people, right?
Yeah.
If I can see that you're playing and I have a relationship with you where you ask for my opinion about things, I will tell because also I'm not Mother Teresa. I don't do this thing of telling people, oh, I think you should be doing this. No, 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 no. I don't. Mm-mm. Me, I'll just look at you and be like, guy, this person is yo. Yeah. This journey will be long for this one. And I will not tell them. Because I would not appreciate someone who doesn't know me giving me an opinion of what I should and I shouldn't be doing. I'd rather you go
Yeah.
and tell my friends and then my friends come and relay the message to me rather than you directly giving me an opinion. That's why I don't understand people that troll on social media platforms.
Oh
Because
my days.
I'm just like,
You rem- mhm.
who do you think you are? Like, what sort of importance do you think you have in a person's life for you to go and advise them that that's what they must be doing?
It actually reminds me of these people. You're enjoying your strawberry in your video, and then someone just comments and provoke. Oh, so you're saying you hit oranges now? Like, it's kind of giving me the same vibes. Because why do you feel so opinionated to something that I didn't even convey? That's not the message I'm trying to put across. It's like, ah, you know,
I mean, when I get to those situations, back and I show and go for. But I think one of the things I've learned, probably as I get older, and I hate saying that, but
mm,
people love to talk about their problems, especially when they know you can hear it. They will
hmm,
talk about it. But the essence of what I'm saying is you coming to repeat the same scenario to me. It's like you're looking for someone to affirm the decisions that you're doing that you know are not right. But at the same time, if someone told me like, you know, like things like relationships will always be there, things like going out will always be there. It's oh, don't drink like that. Oh, don't do that. Oh, this is not good for you. Oh, this is good. Do you think I'd understand? In my mind, I'm just like blah 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 blah
Hello,
blah.
baby.
I still a baby. Like literally, please shut up. Well, who the hell are you talking to? I'm trying to have a good time. Get the hell out. So I think they're just things that you have to go through so you can know better and be better. And now we move to the next segment, which is how can I do better? That was such a nice way to transition. Where me pay my coffee.
Mm.
Was that you clapping like thinking your fingers?
It's like a virtual club. No, I was using my teeth.
Girl. I wanted us to talk about your content creation because I think that's an interesting way that you incorporate trying to be better. I can't imagine
Yeah.
trying to be better and then showing people how I'm trying to be better. Yo, miss me with that. Miss me with that. I want us to talk about like how did you start content creation and what does the content that you put out mean to you and what do you want it to mean for people?
I love this question. I'm actually feeling like the excitement coming up.
Yeah.
But for me, I have five siblings and all of them are girls.
Ooh.
So I have three older sisters. And as a baby sister, you just like copying stuff. So for me, anything my elder sisters would do, I'd want to do it. Oh, you like this? I also like this. And so the one I follow, actually both of them, like the two I follow, they were into content creation before. One of them is still going, but the other one kind of stopped. So I started out content creation as coping. I was just coping my sister. But then in the process, I actually started enjoying it. But
Mm-hmm.
then I stopped for a while. But coming back now, entering uni, especially last year, is when I realized that I actually enjoy content creation. Like I enjoy documenting my life. I enjoy compiling pictures, editing, compiling to videos, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's how I found myself in space. But for me, the main thing about content creation is I feel like it does more for me than it does for my audience.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them usually text me and they tell me how a certain thing really impacted them. And I'm like, oh my God, amazing and stuff. Like this is genuine excitement for them
Mm-hmm.
because it pushes me to keep going. But the main reason I started out was because I wanted to prove to myself that I can show up regardless. Content creation, when you're starting it out, it's no child's play because you're dealing with zeros to put it everywhere. Oh,
Zero impression.
really say you can't really say I'm in it for the money. Like no, like you can't say that. Because if it's money and it's not coming right now, why would I keep going?
Mm.
And so for me, it was a chance to prove to myself that I can show up even when no one is watching.
Mm-hmm.
I can show up, and that's how I started uh being consistent. And then I even gave myself a challenge where for this year specifically, I'll be posting every single day until the end of the year. Not because it's not impossible, and it's also quite it's being ambitious, but I'm trying to prove to myself that one, I can show up. Number two is I can overcome the fears that are holding me back because I was so scared of people. I especially my the people who are so close to me. I usually say that some features about me that you have to be so close to me to unlock. Not many people find me funny, and it's because they don't interact with me at a very personal level.
Mhm.
But if you're very close to me, you most people you'll hear them saying like, "Hey, you're like funny." But you see, there's that gap. But basically, I I just wanted to put myself out there to overcome those fears and tell myself like, people will not eat me. They will not. What's the worst that can happen to me?
Mhm.
Like if someone comes and trolls me, um, I was a softie. Right now, I think I can drag people. I can try to drag people,
Mhm.
but naturally, I am a softie. So if you come saying some like funny things, I think I'll just delete your comment or something like that. But right now, I don't think I'll delete it. So there's some aspects of myself that I wanted to prove to myself, that I wanted to overcome. I wanted to change because I knew where I'm going. It can't handle the kind of person I am at the moment.
Wow.
I either have to adjust or give it up or give up that future completely. And I'm not willing to give up that future because one day, one time, I will stand in front of my creator and he will ask me, I gave you the gifts, I gave you the talent, I gave you the resources. Why didn't you do what you're supposed to do?
Mhm.
How do you stand before a God who owns everything, who does not need anything, and tell them, I was just scared? Eh? So,
And say,
all
eh?
these realities, I think all these realities really forced me to start getting out of my comfort zone. Like this playing small, I realized it's not serving anyone. In fact, I was being selfish because there's a generation that depends on my destiny,
Amen.
that depends on what I put up there, that depends on what I'm giving as value. And if I don't give it, there's someone who will miss their destiny because of me. So how am I going to be accountable for myself and also be accountable for that person?
Mhm.
That's too much. So all those realities really kicked in, and that's when I started taking content creation seriously. Because to me it feels more like this is quite big, but to me it feels more like a calling. It feels like a way of meeting the people that actually need to hear what I have to say.
Mhm.
I didn't want to share my story, but I was getting convicted about it. And once I shared, so many people resonated with it and actually didn't realize because I thought all along it's just me. I'm the only one who has failed, I'm the only one who's going through this. But once you actually share some things, when you realize there's so many people who needed that,
Mhm.
who needed to ask, how did you go through this? I'm going through this. Please help me. How were you able to overcome this? Like you'll realize it's never about you. It's you, the world does not actually revolve around you. It's okay to be the main character, but it's not okay to be self-centered. It's not okay to deprive other people of the gifts that you have in the name of I'm shy. For example, this podcast, if you didn't start out this podcast, one, I wouldn't have a platform to share my story to help other people with productivity and growth. The previous episodes you've done, I'm pretty sure they talk about a lot of things. There's one person who might have listened to it and it changed their life. So what if Miss Lee's hadn't started the Eight Tribe podcast? What if? There's so many people who would be having problems that don't have solutions because you carry the solutions. And so for me, I feel like content creation, my space is a platform for me to try as much try as much as possible to give solutions to people to the problems that I have been able to go through and have been able to overcome. And it's also a space for me to encourage people and let them know that it's not the end. You have time, you still have another chance. Why don't you try and give yourself a chance? Give yourself some grace. Hold space for yourself. Get up. Like it might take some time for you to adjust to get up, but the point is get up and just keep going, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I think that is content creation for me. It's so much for me. It's more than just posting. It's more than just taking the videos, taking the pictures, doing what. It's something that I enjoy, and it's something that I feel like um it's so close to my heart because of what it does to my character specifically, and also how it helps so many other people out there.
Girl, you're doing a ministry of its own. Wow. Like literally, I always tell people like, well, I used to teach like the word. Where? So anyway, I don't remember the last time I taught. This is bad. This is so bad.
Wait, like the word you used to do like Sunday school or like Bible study or just teaching?
Bible study teachings. So like,
That's nice.
yeah. So like, I used to like in my connect group, I used to do teachings and stuff. My pastor kept on like when I was in Mauritius, my pastor kept on saying how I'm going to be a pastor. And I always just used to laugh awkwardly because I'm like, pastor, no. Teacher, yes, I could see myself in that. But yeah, if God came back, if Jesus came back and said, okay, so I gave you the gift of teaching, you exercised it for a little bit, and then where did you leave it? I would not know what to say. I'm not gonna lie. But then at the same time, my worry with teaching is I love me a good time. So like
Mm,
if I'm teaching you the word on a Thursday or whichever day of the week, and then you see me listening to house music in maybe Coda or wherever on a Friday night, you won't take me seriously. And
understandable.
yeah, and I understand the gravity of the representation you have when it comes to being a person that stands in a position of teaching. And I always tell people I don't take ministry of any kind lightly because I can teach kids as
Mm,
well in Sunday school. But I said I don't want to do that because I don't want to ever be in a situation where a kid uses me as an example of what it looks like to like be a teacher of Jesus Christ. And I'm not saying that people should not live authentically to themselves. I just mean that if you choose to serve God, serve Him wholeheartedly. And
mhm.
if you want to be in a position where you're a teacher, you're a pastor, you're whichever, like whatever it is you choose to do. Because I was having this conversation with my friend, I think a couple of days ago, where I was saying, people think being a pastor is so far off from being a priest. The difference between you and a priest is the fact that you can actually marry and you can have some money and do some small jobs and stuff. But fundamentally, how the practicing of your life is, you and a priest, a pastor and a priest
Yeah,
are literally the same. So like when pastors choose to do some things, I'm usually just like, you don't understand the gravity of what you're doing. And there's like when I used to be a teacher, and I also had when I used to teach, I also had someone I used to now answer to that used to teach me. And I always tell people be very wary of one, people on TikTok
mm,
that come to tell you that they're teaching you about scripture and they don't tell you who they go to answer to. And number two
yeah,
is if you find yourself in a situation where you're a teacher, you need to understand that every word that comes out of your mouth is going to reproduce itself in someone else's life. And
mm,
whether you're driven by the spirit of God or the spirit, like demonic spirit or whatever spirit you're driven in, it still goes and reproduces. And because it came
that's
out of
good.
your mouth, you're the one that is going to be directly at fault. There's a weight
Yeah,
that teaching comes with that you need to carry
carries.
it well. So, how did we get here?
I don't know.
I don't know. But I think I always say ministry shows up in different ways. You're literally doing ministry with the work that you put out. You don't have to wake up in the morning and tell people, everybody, read the Bible, pray every day. But the fact that you're showing
Yeah.
people that I'm Christ centered, I love Jesus Christ, he's my personal savior, and I serve him and him alone. And because of that, as an extension of that, this is what I do. It's I always tell people Christians should be good showers of what it looks like to walk with
Yeah.
Christ and not talkers of what it looks
Mm.
like to walk with Christ. We do a lot more talking
Yeah.
than showing. And
Showing.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's just like now when people that are atheists are like, okay, but it's not matching. Like, you guys talk a lot.
Yeah.
Like, do it,
You
show
teach
workings.
each other. Mm.
Yeah. So I think I respect the work you do.
Thank you so much.
Like, I respect it. And that's like, yo, it's not like, oh, yeah, love is different. I respect the work you do. Because I say respect because
Mm.
it boils down from a deep sense of like a deep ideology. And that is, I want to be better for myself. And as an extension of that, I want to show you that it's also possible. And being able to be as resilient for that long. Like I said, you can't convince me to repeat class twice. Oh, girl, I would start a business. Annie, that would be the last time I am in a class.
Step foot and go.
Forget about course. I mean, formal education. You cannot convince me that education is it for me. After that, oh, girl, there's many ways you can be successful.
Education is not the key
Ah,
anymore.
it's not. Ah, we have Bill Gates in them. What are you saying? That is the reference I'll be using when people ask me, so what happened to you in school? I just be like, ah, I dropped out. It was not working out
One
for
of
me.
these.
Yeah, I'm gonna live the American dream. But yeah, I wanted to just talk about briefly relationships and friendships because I think that's like a very huge part of growing up. And I want to hear what experience have you had with relationships, and how do you feel about them? You?
If you just hear me sighing at first, it's been a journey. I won't lie.
Mhm.
Both aspects. We're talking platonic relationships, romantic. It has been a journey. Uh, but what I would say is that the friends you choose, the partner that you choose, have such a big influence on how your life turns out.
Mhm.
And people don't take that serious. They like vibes, they like the moment, but they don't like looking at the bigger picture. I've I've tested the water, a few frogs here and there,
Nothing
and
too crazy, you know.
the swamp life is not for me. No, but um, I wouldn't say I am where I want to be specifically in terms of friendships.
Mhm.
I feel like there's so many people I'm yet to meet and call friends. I know a lot of people. A lot of people know me. They're more of acquaintances. But the people who I really hold dear to my heart and call them friends are not that many. The people who can show up for me in and showing up is different ways. It doesn't just have to be maybe giving you money when you need it or listening to you when you're crying. Showing up looks different for each person. But for me, the relationships I've had have been key. Actually, in my first year, I did not have good friendships
Mhm.
because those are the kind of friends that would go and read and then come have fun with you, but they don't want you to succeed. It's like if you succeed, it means I have failed. People who have that kind of mentality.
You?
And it took me failing to actually realize that these were not my friends.
Mhm.
They were just people who we were in the same class with.
Mhm.
And that's when my definition of friendships started changing. And I started being very cautious of even the people I keep around me. Uh, In terms of relationships, I have dealt with quite a number of traits, characters. I've had a narcissistic partner at some point. Imagine at my young age, I've had
Why are they giving you guys
some
such
some
poor
immature guys.
experiences?
Bro, as in do better. But, but yeah. So all these experiences brought together pushed me to the point where I actually had to sit down and ask myself, do I really deserve this? Even the quality of me as a person, if I detach it from myself and compare to the quality that I'm bringing into the picture, do they really match?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started having things like boundaries and standards and non negotiables. I actually remember writing my list at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the
Girl, that's when you know you're done.
morning. Literally, I just opened my notes app. I was so done. I opened my notes up and I remember writing my non negotiables. And I remember writing, if I am to have a partner, God, these are the things that I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot about it. Even for my friendships, I have a criteria on how to pursue, let alone have a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just vibes that you let's go out, dress cute, go to explore a restaurant. It's more to it. Are you willing to be there for me when it's inconvenient for you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to hold space for me in the same way that I'm willing to hold space for you? And so when those questions started coming up and me answering them one by one, it really set me apart. And I was in isolation for some time because the people I called friends were really not my friends. This is even away from my first year in
Mm-hmm.
uni. I came to realize that some people were not really my friends. They were actually, they would backbite me and then come and smile with me during the day. And I sat down and I was like, enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
So
Enough is
I
enough.
started, I started running a strict program.
Period.
Like if you mess up like this, you know, there's so many times you can give someone grace.
Mm.
But if someone is taking advantage of that grace, you're gone. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
And especially for men, I was really strict on it because I understood the influence that they have. It's not a same gender relationship where we're sharing so much in common. This is you have your own role. I have my own role. So how do we integrate them together? And I would say where I'm currently at is not where I started out. There's a lot of learned from my relationships. And shout out to my partner. He is the most supportive. And I don't think dating a medical student is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if you ask anyone, especially those who are even married to doctors, hey, those are strongest soldiers. It's not an easy feat
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you're trying to build that intimacy, like have a chat, build the emotional capacity and stuff. But it's not that I don't have that time because I'm supposed to be doing so many other things. And so finding that balance requires a patient person,
Mm-hmm.
someone who is willing to hold that space for you until you find it, or at least be close to finding it. And it's the same thing with relationships. Are you okay with seeing me once a year? Like, we can do video calls, we can be intentional in other areas. But what if, assume things don't work out and we only have the chance to see each other once a year?
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to go to do the journey with me? And yeah, so there are big things for me. But where I am currently, I am in a much better space than I was before, than I was starting out uni and also growing up. I have a very supportive partner, a good partner. Like it doesn't this two traits don't even describe half of the man that he is.
Shame.
And for the friendships, yeah, and for the friendships that I have currently, they're amazing. I have very amazing friends. I cannot describe in them in anything short of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to find at the moment is friends in med school who are at the same level as me. That's something that I'm still pursuing and praying on. If I find those people, I think my life will be complete. So yeah.
Love it for you, Shim. You know when someone is talking about like how they've been through something and then they've been like you're just always
From Mabonde, Kim Lima.
like you're just always going through something. You know when people like there's a book 48 Laws of Power it says avoid
Yeah.
the unlucky. So harsh, damn. So like
Oh God.
this story was feeling like this girl has been through it. This girl has gone through it. But then hearing like I have a partner that is supportive and his love is nice, guys. Tell him we don't like dark chocolate. We like mint.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah. Thank
He
you.
knows.
I will be there on
Mm.
February the 14th.
Okay.
Mwambie tushamweka live kwa podcast.
I'm getting on my Zoom.
Mm. Get on his Zoom, girl.
Leo tuko meeting juu ya hiyo story.
Nimeka kabisa kwenye nimetoka tumeambiwa uleti dark chocolate. Sawa? Huko wanapenda mint. Crazy stuff. Man, actually, when is your episode coming out? Hey. Hakuna bahati. I might even
I feel
shift
like
it.
you're going to make sure it's okay
Yeah,
before
so people can
Valentine.
so people can give him.
So make sure.
Thank you. I like how you're smart.
Wow.
Ah, this is so nice. Anyways, guys, I know you guys probably have questions for Mirage, but she has a platform and you guys should go and engage with her there. And if she posts something that you did not understand from the episode, just leave her a comment because that builds up on her engagement. Kwa hiyo maswali zenu zote
Please.
mpeleke social media. But yeah, I think we're about to wrap up. I just want to get into the segment of advice, and the question that we usually ask is, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh wow. Oh my God.
Right?
Um, what I'd tell her is stop focusing on the ladder, but shift your focus to the steps because that's how you end up covering the ladder. And what I mean by that is focus on the progress that you're getting in. I think for the longest time, I've been such a perfectionist until that cycle broke. And that's when I started patting myself on the back for even putting in the little that I could. If my best looked like zero point 0.5 that day and I gave my zero point 0.5, then I've done it all. And so what I tell her is it's okay to cover one thing at a time. It's okay to not have it figured out in the moment. Things work out themselves progressively. So just focus on what you can chew at the moment, and then the rest, it will find you in its time. Yeah.
I wish people could see how I'm smiling. I like you so much. You speak like me. So it's literally, it feels nice to hear someone speak like me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Intellectual collab.
Period. Smart gals. But yeah,
Okay.
clock that bloody tea. So the last two segments are Come On Now. Come On Now is basically where I ask you a question and we answer it and we debunk it. Come On Now is actually like, come on now. Like, come on now. Yeah. So the question
I
is,
know.
what's one unnecessary thing we do, say, or see, or you see that shouldn't exist in the productivity space?
Hmm. I think forcing issues. Let me just put that part. Forcing issues
Two words.
because it shouldn't be there because how can you be productive when you're posting issues? Like if kama kitu imekata, wachana nayo. Like try again tomorrow or try again later.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the kind of things that they really limit you to what you can achieve in a day. Because if I'm so focused on getting something done and I can clearly see that it doesn't want to get done, why can't I just move on to the next thing first, work on it, and then when I'm done with that, come back later? And I think another thing is postponing a 5 minute craft. Why are you postponing washing the dishes like 2 cups, actually because you want to go and do something else? Like how could he? What? What? 2 minutes, even less than two
Yeah.
minutes. Wash the cups and then move on. I feel like that's another thing because now you're crying and it's your fault because you didn't wash the 2 cups. Now you're overwhelmed. The cups are looking at you, waiting for you to wash them. You don't have the energy to wash them. How are we going to help you now? Come on now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I have not met someone that made me laugh on an episode like this. Ah, talk about matching energy. Anyway, my come on now is people that say it's not that serious.
Mm, mm.
Like, it's not that deep.
I feel you.
It's deep like mad. It's deeper than deep. It's deep than the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
If I meet a person that says, "Oh, you're taking it too serious. It's not that deep."
I don't flat you.
I'm telling you, I was supposed to wake up at 5 and I woke up at 7 and you're telling me, but at least you got some sleep. It's not that serious. I
Why do I resonate so much?
Do you know that video of nitakuchapa kofi kama tunaendelea? That's exactly how I usually feel. Like, shut up. Shut up. Oh, Jesus.
Shanice, your mouth is moving yappa yappa like a rat on the highway.
Hey, do you know, as this has taught us we should learn how to read more. We cannot be
Why
having
are we chronically online?
we cannot be having references for literally everything like that. I don't think I don't think that's this is good
I,
for us. Literally, how many?
I
I
think
think I'll when I'm recording it, when I'm editing it, I will literally count all of the references that we've made on this particular episode, and I'll tell them to post all of them just to show them what was happening in this. Actually, yeah. Now that I've said it, I'll do it. Yeah, we are going to post everything that we said, just so we can
we
see it.
need to sign up for bootcamp at this point.
Right? 20, let's go learn how
Yeah,
to write and read. Do
20.
something with our lives. But yeah, the next segment is the song of the week. So what have you been listening to?
Oh, damn. I don't think I've been listening to music this week as much as I usually do.
Girl, it's Wednesday. Are you
Maybe you should go first.
anti-music?
No, I love music,
No, you don't love music
but I feel like you
actually.
should go first.
Why? No, we are going to
Okay,
talk about
okay.
this.
If you're talking about notes and as orchestra, I'm not really the target audience. But if we're talking about Spotify, some airport on the walk, maybe.
Yeah, like okay, what do you use? Spotify.
Yeah, I do use.
Okay, we are going to go to your listening stats on Spotify and then it's going to show us your top song. Why? Why are you saying that?
I'm pretty
What have you
sure
been
it's
listening
going
to?
to be. No, it's going to be a song by most likely Emandiong.
Who?
I know you've never heard her before.
Now I want to see your playlist.
Oh, oh, it's out of this world.
In a good way or a bad
Plain
way?
out of this world. Like in a good way.
So your song of
Most
the week
likely
is
Emandiong.
Emmanuel. I've not heard of a person like that.
Emandiong. Ridiculous. I think it's a song I like abuse, listen to any chance I get. But I wouldn't say that's the song I've been listening to currently. And if I say the other person I've been listening to, you also won't know them.
Just say it. Maybe people in
It's
the
called it's called Bee Crease.
be crazy.
Bee Crease. B like then hyphen KRIZ. And then he does it with Beacon Media. I think that's his like production company or something.
I like this.
It's called Too Much Love. I love two of the songs, Too Much Love and Hallelujah. Yeah. They're awesome songs.
She'll send me your playlist. I think I might enjoy it.
Yeah, but you know, the funny thing is I have like 6 playlists. Am I crazy?
Is that a lot or a little?
I think it's like standard.
No, you said it. Am I crazy?
I've
So you
split
think it's a little? It's a lot.
for an average person that would come up as a lot.
Girl, Jesus. Then I'm not average. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24,
Are
25,
you counting a chart or
26,
your playlist?
28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
Ouch.
Guy, ni mingi.
Only you could see my eyes.
They're still going.
No, I feel average. I feel average.
I'm not an average person.
What business do you have with 32 playlists? Ngomo.
I don't know what to say, girl. I'm a lover of exquisite music. And mind you, all the playlists are nothing less than 30 songs.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But my song of the week is Memeza by a guy called Vumala. It's a gospel house song. She's pretty cool. I'll send it to you and then you'll check it out.
Should listen to
Yeah,
her.
it's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, aside from that, the person I've been listening to a lot is called Chantel Rutendo. Chanel Rutendo.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
God, am I allowed to scream on the podcast? I'm so sorry, our listeners. I didn't mean to bust your eardrum,
Oh
but
God. I'm not gonna tell
you
me.
know,
You startled my
some-
heart. What are you talking about, listeners?
some-
What about me?
wait, my sweet host, my sweet, oh, like,
Like literally, my
so
heart
sorry.
is beating so loudly.
I love her so much. Like, I love her so
Oh, she's
much.
good.
I love her.
She's good.
Yeah, she is really
Her new album is great, guys.
Listen, have you listened to? Oh my god, yes.
Y'all should check it out. It is called To My Friend and My King.
And to my
Yeah.
yes, sir.
I can get behind listening to like gospel R&B. I think there's a time that was literally what I used to listen to alone. Cause girl, they
You
eat.
will love.
Ooh,
Always, always.
they're too
I
good.
feel like you love my playlist.
Yeah.
You will love my
I'm
playlist.
trying to get more playlists because I'm getting tired, especially when I go for walks. I feel like I'm getting tired of listening to like the same songs, and I'd enjoy just alternative R&B, Christian alternative R&B. Would be pretty cool. But yeah, girl, this is the end of the session. I had a ball. Like I said,
I loved it.
I don't think I've been in a podcast recently where I had this much fun. I'm not gonna lie. Plus, I have had like
The honor is mine.
I've had like literally 2 recordings today. So you can imagine I was getting into this like I just need 1 hour and I'm out. I was tired. I've been talking the whole day.
Double it.
But yeah, this was such a lovely ending to my day. I'm not gonna lie. So thank you so much. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for answering the call and being obedient. Because it's never an easy
Thank
thing.
you.
And it's not easy to answer it every day. Because I always say you can answer it once and say, nah, this is not my cup of tea, and you leave it alone. But then for you
Yeah.
to answer the call and do it consistently every other day, and you consistently remind yourself why you do what you do. I'm genuinely proud of
Mm,
that. And that's quite outstanding for someone in, I don't want to say your age because I don't think we have a huge age gap, but just for
mm.
someone in your stage, it's quite outstanding. And I hope that people that listen to this see you as a symbol or like a representation of what it looks like to be resilient, but not resilient in a bitter way, but resilient in a way that you still embrace the beauty of life and you try again and you're hopeful about life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast. I had a blast. And yeah, thank you for giving me the space to also just be open and making it very fun, not stiff. Yeah, so I really appreciate it. And you've shifted also my perspective because I never really saw it in the way that you've described it. But I think from today, that showing up will now look different because I'll always remember that it's a call. It's not just picking up the camera. I'm picking up a camera and a call.
Amen.
Yeah.
And the church says, Amen.
Glory, glory,
What was
glory.
I about to sing? Glory, Remain United. But yeah, guys, I don't support football. Don't even come and engage me another day. Not support football, but I'm not.
You're about to cancel you
Yeah,
out.
I'm not there. I used to support Man United because my partners supported Manchester United.
Understanding girlfriends 101.
Period.
Welcome to the
Say
club.
where? Band for band. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the ITRA podcast. To everyone listening, if today's episode resonated with you, if you struggled to stay productive in 2025, reflected on your personal growth, or are figuring out how to level up in 2026, drop a comment down below and let us know where you're listening from, and we'll see how we can work this journey with you. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. If this episode made you think, brought you comfort, or helped you feel seen, follow us, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. If you want to stay connected with a community that's growing, healing, and leading with intention, make sure to follow the podcast and join us on Instagram at the It Tribe. Dr. Murage, where would you like to be found?
Dr. Muraga on Instagram and TikTok and also on YouTube.
But yeah, guys, do follow
How?
Dr. Murage. I checked out her content and I want to camp in her page now that we've had this conversation because I think she's a lovely gem. Thank you so much. And guys,
Thank
show Dr.
you.
Murage some love here and on her page. Click the follow button and engage. Don't just click it because I say click it. You should stay there. So yeah, guys, until next time, be kind to yourself and keep choosing growth. Bye.
It is.